What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today is a huge day for all the marathon players out there because for the longest time we've been asking for a solo cryo experience. And although this isn't completely solo focused, for the first time ever since the launch of Cryo, you can actually hop into the experience by yourself without needing any teammates. You don't need squad mates to join in and leave afterwards. You don't have to auto queue into another trio. You can literally hop in solo and give the map a shot. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive on deep into that, I do want to mention one thing before we get into all the juicy details. This is by the Marathon development team over on Twitter saying, Marathon's first season wraps up on June 2nd. As we begin to prepare for Season 2, we're going to reveal more about Nightfall this week, including details about Night Marsh, the new runner shell, Sentinel, the Cradle, and progression improvements. I can't tell you guys how freaking excited I am to see all of these details. So make sure you guys keep your eyes peeled, especially on this channel. You guys know I discuss everything marathon related here, which you already know. The second all this information comes on out, we are going to be deep diving on every last detail. Doesn't matter what it is, runner shell, map, so on and so forth. I'm just very excited for Season 2, and I cannot wait to share more with you guys as we move towards the future. But with that being said, let's dive deep into the actual cryo map itself. Now, for those who are curious how you can actually do this, there's actually ranked cryo out right now as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. So for those who want to hop into cryo, you can't play it normally. That's going to be available during the weekend. But they did claim for the final week of ranked, they're going to be opening up cryo to the overall ranked experience and see how it does. Now, I do want to ask those who are very invested into ranked, because I'll be real, I really don't care about ranked when it comes down to marathon. I guess I just don't care about ranked when it comes down to any extraction shooter. I just don't really think the genre is that fit for it. But I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not saying you're stupid for enjoying it. If you enjoy it, that's great, because I know it's going to get very competitive and you probably have some really tight, intense moments. But I'm curious what you guys think of cryo so far. I know I've only given you guys about a day and a half. But as of this video going live right here, right now, what do you guys think? Do you think cryo is a good ranked experience? Do you think they should dabble in this overall experience moving forwards? Do you think it should be something that's more recent instead of waiting until the very end of the season, maybe rotate it just like how they rotate out the rest of the maps? Or do you think they should cut it, never do it again? It just doesn't fit the overall cryo vibes. I've been trying to look up online to see what people's opinions are, and it seems like a lot of people are mixed. Some people think it's really fun, and others think the map is just not made for ranked, but I'm still curious where you guys are settling when it comes down to your opinions. But, as I stated, because ranked is now officially on cryo, guess what that means? You can hop into the experience as a solo. Yes, when it comes down to ranked, you are allowed to verse other trios by yourself, of course, if that's what you choose. So when you go into cryo this time around, of course, you're going to have to purchase a ranked, key or whatever it is, the ranked card, the chips, to help you get into the ranked experience. But once you do such a thing, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you can now officially hop in by yourself and just explore the map and see what there is to offer. Now, of course, this map is stupidly difficult, and we're going to discuss this in more details later on, and, things I would like to see improved if they ever decide to make it truly a solo experience. But, it's great. It's great to be able to just kind of handle it like a rook run, Charge around the map, dip and weave, avoid players, try to third party, and pick up the rest of the loot off of downed bodies. It's really intense, especially on a map as tight as this. I don't think there's any other better map to go in as a solo versing trios than Cryo Archive because of all the tight hallways, vents, ways that you could rotate, verticality. You can just, you could vanish in a blink of an eye when it comes down to Cryo. And when you don't have any other teammates to worry about and it's just you, it's kind of cool. I can't deny it. It gets your heart beating. I'll tell you that much. Compared to any other map I've played like this, it really gets your heart beating in cryo because you best believe people are bringing in their best gear, especially when it comes down to ranked. And as you guys can see in this footage, I was surprisingly able to make some buddies, make some friends when it comes down to the cryo experience coming in solo. All I did is just shout out, "Hey man, I'm solo. I'm not really worth your time. Please spare me." And lo and behold, they actually let me live and just enjoy the overall experience with them. And the funniest part about it is I almost convinced another team to work with us. Later in the footage, you'll see I actually came out, said hello to the other players, and it was like 2 of them or something like that. And then it was like another third party that was sitting above saying, "Oh, this guy's a douchebag. He's a horrible solo. Why are you coming up in here? This game is PvP focused. How dare you come in as a solo and try to get everybody to work together?" It was the funniest lobby I've been a part of in a long time. But we actually pushed on through, and this team was awesome, outstanding. I don't remember their names. I don't even think they know that, I made content when I asked to join their team. But if you guys do come across this video, you guys are really cool, chill individuals. I just got to say that, man. You guys picked me up. No questions asked. You guys had my back. It was a ton of fun. I got to be real with you. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let's just talk about solo, right? Because now that we've been able to actually taste what solo cryo would feel like, it's very tempting. I love the freedom, ladies and gentlemen. I really wish that at some point in time they will add in solo cryo only. No teams whatsoever, just solo v solos. Because it's so nice to be able to hop into the map, not have to worry about other players, what their missions are, what their goals are. They're coming in with keys. Are they not coming in with keys? Do we have to be loud or quiet because they don't want to lose all their gear? I could just go in and explore. I could see what goes to what. I can see the rotations. I can play at my own pace. And I think when a lot of you guys try this out, that's exactly how you're going to feel as well. You can finally go in and just kind of relax. Although it's not relaxing whatsoever. It's extremely intense. You have trios hunting the heck out of you, bots everywhere. But it is relaxing in the sense that it doesn't matter where I go or what I do. I'm not sabotaging anybody. And that always gets to me. I don't want to sabotage my teammates, especially on a map where we're coming in with extremely good gear. These guys are coming in with purples, gold, some of their best weapons, some of their best loot. I don't want to be the guy to say, oh, I've never been there. I'm just going to go explore that while you guys are in the middle of engagement real quick. No, if I want to do the dash, I could do the dash. If I want to rotate, I could rotate. If I want to take people on, I could take them on. I could do anything, and that feels outstanding. But the map is too complex for solos, and that's why I think if they ever do add in solo cryo, it's something that's going to take a little bit of time. I actually mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but I know people are trying to rush this. I know people want this to happen instantly, but it's not that simple. Bungie is going to have to do a lot of work if they want to add this into solos. It's going to be a balancing act, because if you make it too easy for solo players, then, you're going to have people running basically all the key cards, getting all the best gear, compared to trios where it's ramped up, harder bots, you have other three, party teams. It's going to end up with a bunch of people going to solos to farm and then kind of just avoiding trios at that point because it'll be too easy. So they can't make it too easy, but again, having it too hard like how it is now for a solo player, it's devastating. I mean, gosh, I could barely even get out of the first room, going into the second room, by the time someone already has a level 3 access, and they're moving across the map, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, I am moving so unbelievably slow right now. It's a night and day difference when you don't have, a couple of other teammates with you working on the bot, so you could tell, yes, it's a trio style of map. And in order to get it to solos, it's going to be a lot of work, because, as I stated, make it too easy, it's farmable. But, they have to find that in-between spot where they can reduce the bots down from trios. So it's still, it's still painful. Because that's what Cryo is supposed to be. Cryo is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be the hardest map in the game. It's endgame content. But, like I said, it's not made for solos. So they need to make it hard, but not too hard when it comes down to the amount of bots that are present on the overall map. But other than that, I'm okay with how much time it will take for this to be turned into a partial solo experience. Shoot, if it takes months, it takes months. But if that's the case, I really hope that they allow us to do this within the normal cryo experience. I would love that. Imagine being able to, solo trios, more than just in the ranked experience. So instead of having ranked, be present during the weekend when it's just normal cryo, it would be so nice to just be able to queue in. Just play by myself if I'm just feeling like, I want to warm up, or I can come in with cheaper gear without once again harming my other teammates, because my other teammates are going to want to be geared to their teeth. What if I just want to go in and test things? What if I just want to go in and see what the map's like? Not talking about me personally because I've been playing the game a lot, but for a newcomer or someone who just picked up the title, or for someone who doesn't have as much time on their hands and they do want to slowly try out cryo, they can't do it in any other way without playing with other people and potentially sacrificing their loot. So what would be better than being able to hop in as a solo? Even if you die again and again and again, that's okay with me. You can bring in a cheap enough kit, just hitting the bare minimum to be able to hop into cryo. You can go in, explore, play like Rook, rat around and try to get third-party picks or even, loot dead bodies and enjoy the game that way. And you won't be able to progress it that fast. It's not like they need to do a balancing act. The bots are hard as ever. So playing solo, going into trios, you're probably not even going to progress that much. You're probably not going to get that crazy of loot. And that's fine. because it's just nice to have that availability and, that freedom to hop in and just try things out whenever I please. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have not tried this out yet, I highly recommend doing such. Even if you die a handful of times, which you more than likely will, because, not every game is like this. This is just a lucky occasion. The other matches, nobody even talked to me. They just ran up on me, absolutely slaughtered my soul, no second questions, absolutely stabbed me to death without even sitting and talking to me or anything. It's going to be a vicious experience, but like I said, treat it like a rook run, right? Hide, be stealthy, try to navigate the map and find ways to, go in and out. And that will benefit you when you do go back into trio cryos, because then you'll know the ins and outs of the overall map because you've been navigating it solo trying to get away from all these bloodthirsty trios. So I highly recommend checking it out. It's tons of fun. And with that being said, please, Bungie, at some point in time, get us some solo cryo. Honestly, now that I think of it, solos are a lot more friendly than trios. People might actually have a chance at going against the compiler, because in a solo run, more people will probably be working together trying to, navigate, maybe bringing in their own cards and stuff like that, and you can talk to one another and see what they have, what you have, and, work as a unit. It's a lot more simple to do that in a solo match than in a trio. And I think that'll be really cool. Imagine hopping in, like I said, into a solo match. You find a bunch of people on the lobby, and you just all kind of combine efforts to just crap on every single bot and the overall map. That would be so much fun. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I do indeed post 2 times here. Once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as you guys already know, we post a ton of variety on this channel. Pretty much any FPS or third-person shooter that sparks my interest, that I enjoy, I keep up with on this channel. COD, Battlefield, Splitgate, Impulse, which is Splitgate's new game, War Dogs, Terminal War, Marathon, as you see here, Arc Raiders. There's tons of variety. So if you guys enjoy that, subscribe and hit the bell. And last but not least, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I think today we are actually going to be playing some Battlefield 6. So if you guys are curious, you can find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.